In this video, I'll show you how to simply set up an ADSB feeder. In this case, we are basing it on a Raspberry Pi 4. We have a good power supply. This is a 4 amp one. We are adding an SDR with a filtered LNA. This one is imported from China, a simple antenna, and a micro SD card with an adapter so we can write to it on your computer. You go to the adsb.im homepage. There you switch to the download page, and on that download page, you select Raspberry Pi, the computer that we just looked at, and download the latest image for the Raspberry Pi. And once that download has finished, we now need to write that image to the SD card that you have inserted into your computer. Easiest way to do this generally is to use an application like the Raspberry Pi Imager. It's a free download. You don't have to filter for a specific device. Instead, you simply click on Choose OS and you go to the very bottom of that list and you say Use Custom. There you pick the image that you just downloaded and you pick the storage device that you inserted into your computer. So here is the micro SD card that you just saw. Once you've done that, you click on Next. And on that next page, you'll be offered to customize the OS. I would not do that. It's much easier to use our tools to connect to the OS with a hotspot. I'll show that in a moment. So now we say, let's override this SD card, click yes. And after a moment to prepare, it will ask us to enter our password. And once you enter your password to authorize the overriding of the SD card, that process will begin. It'll take a while. Once it's completed, take the SD card out of your computer, insert it into your Raspberry, and connect the power and turn on the Raspberry. And give it a little time, but after a while, you will see a wireless network adsb.im-feeder connect to that network, and most OSs will automatically pop up this join dialog, the Wi-Fi setup dialog. If not, simply open a browser and go to adsb.im, and it will also open the setup page. Here you can enter the SSID of your local Wi-Fi, and you enter the password that is used for that, and you click configure. Once you do that, you will see that it writes the information out to the Raspberry Pi, and then the Wi-Fi drops and you connect back to your regular Wi-Fi network while the Raspberry Pi connects to the network that you just entered here on this page. Now you go back to the browser and we go to my.adsb.im. So you just remove the home here at the end of the URL. If all goes well, this will simply forward you to the local address of the Raspberry that you just connected. You can see it's, in this case, the version 2.2.5 or stable version, and it's running on the Raspberry Pi. Here are the most basic parameters that you need to enter. So you enter a name for your site, you enter the location, latitude and longitude, you enter the altitude, very important to get these data points correctly. The time zone should be filled out correctly, and then you say, we individually pick the aggregators we want to feed on the next page. So once you click submit, it takes a little moment and you will get on the data sharing page. The defaults there on top should be okay for most people. And now you can select one or more of the uh, ADSB aggregators that don't require an account. So I'll use adsb.lol here as an example. We also have support for most of the account-based aggregators. And for many of them, there's even automation to give you a feeder key. So for example, for FlightAware, you either can enter a key if you have it, but otherwise you just click the button that says request key, and it will go through the process of getting a key for you and then later allow you to connect it to your account with FlightAware. Similar for some of the other aggregators, but for some of them, you actually need to get key yourself and set it up this way. Once you've done that, you click on Apply Settings, and it will take a little moment to boot everything up, and you will get to the feeder homepage. So this is the homepage where everything happens when you normally engage with your feeder. Up there, you see the status of the data that you receive, how many positions and messages you get per second really depends on a lot of factors: where you're located, how much traffic is around you, where's your antenna located, what is its view of the sky, are there any obstructions, is it indoor, is it outdoor? So there are a lot of factors that impact that, but you can check that everything is set up correctly over here on the SDR setup. It should show the SDR that you plugged in. It should be set to auto gain. And with all these settings correct, you can simply go back to the homepage, and you can most importantly go to the map that shows you the planes around your house. Now, I entered incorrect coordinates for my location, so the planes are slightly off center. But here you can see some of the planes that are around my building that are currently being received by the feeder and are being sent up to adsb.lel to the aggregator. You will see here that mlat shows that it's not working. That's because my location is incorrect. But in the normal case, you will see a plus for data and a plus for mlat and a green check mark for the aggregator, which tells you that everything is fine. And that's it. Have fun and enjoy feeding ADSB data.